November 8, Papa, Echo, Papa.
November 8, Papa, Echo, Papa. Roger, Roger. And what radio are you running, sir?
Roger, Roger. And what radio are you running, sir? It's a Kenwood TS-480HX.
Alrighty, and why don't you give me 10 seconds and tell me one of the better things you like about your radio.
One of the better things you like about your radio. Okay, well, I like the size of it. It's not very heavy. It's not very large. It does not take up a lot of space on my desk. 200. It's 100 watts, supposedly. I'm showing about 180, 185 watts here on peak. Let's see. People answering. 15 years old. So, is that adequate there?
Yes, sir, Mark. Stand by just a moment. Let me see if I can get this guy that is being very rude. Hang on.
Being very rude. Hang on.
Sir, the frequency is in use. This is a network in use between 3:30 and 5 every Friday afternoon. This frequency for the last 4 years. I would appreciate a little consideration. Thank you, sir.
A little consideration. Thank you, sir.
I know he can't hear me. He's just not being able to hear me at all, I'm sure. Anyway, Mark, we could go through the setup procedure if you would like. It starts with the compressor on at a 3. Compressor on at a 3. It's a token amount, but it does just exactly what we need it to do.
Exactly what we needed to do. The compressor the processor is on at this point. What did you say the setting should be?
A 3, a token amount, a 3. Roger, Roger.
A token amount, a 3. Roger, Roger. Okay, let me make that adjustment. Hold on, please.
Yes, sir, and I will attempt to talk to the very discourteous person that's operating on this frequency that's already in use. This is a network, and it has been on the air for the last 40 minutes, every Friday afternoon at this time for the last 3 years. So we would appreciate a little consideration. Like I say, the frequency is in use, and this particular time has been in use for the last 40 minutes. So we would appreciate a little consideration for our network. Thank you.
Thank you.
Back to you, Mark.
Back to you, Mark. Yeah, I'm looking here. The processor, there are two settings. There's a processor in and a processor out. And each one of those goes from 0 to 100.
All right, so you want to set it on a 30. You want to set that input level at 30. If it's 0 to 100, you want to set it on a 30. Roger?
100, you want to set it on a 30. Roger? Roger. I'm working on that right now, and there we go. There we are on a 30. Here's a 30.
Okay, and now let's move to your ALC. Do you know where your LC meter is?
Yes, I'm looking at it right now.
All right, with mic gain in hand and speaking rather rapidly, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, so you can see where the meter is, adjust that meter to run mid-scale to 2/3 by way of your mic gain control.
Okay, let's see, we're just about there. Let me adjust that downward a little more. Right about there. It looks like that's about a third. It's like a third and a half.
Okay, so what happens, Mark, if you hold your words out and you do it like that? That is going to give you a false reading, and you're going to pull your mic gain down lower than what it needs to be. That's why we wanted to use words instead of held consonants. So you would be 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, as opposed to an like that, to set your level at mid-scale to 2/3. Roger?
At mid-scale to 2/3. Roger? Okay, so we're talking here more or less normally without doing the and it's actually it's a little bit higher. It's a little bit higher than I told you. It's going up to about a halfway up.
Roger. Well, that's what we want. We want it to run mid-scale, that's half, to 2/3. That's a little bit more than half, you know, so it's mid-scale to 2/3. Roger?
Mid-scale to 2/3. Roger? Roger, roger. Well, it's looking pretty good right now. If that's what we're shooting for, it's looking good.
Yes, sir. Mid-scale to 2/3 is what we're shooting for, and that will give you a 3 dB dynamic range and move your average percent of peak modulation up to 80 to 85%. Roger?
80 to 85%. Roger? Roger, roger. Well, I think everything looks pretty good here. Is there anything else I should do with this processor out adjustment?
No. I mean, your processor is in at a 30. Is that a Roger?
Is in at a 30. Is that a Roger? Yeah, the processor in adjustment is at 30. The processor out adjustment is at 65.
Yes, just leave that. It's perfect, just like it is, Roger.
It's perfect, just like it is, Roger. Oh, okay. Well, that sounds good. It looks good. All the settings, manual run where the nominal settings seem to be looking pretty good there right now.
Yes, sir. Looks really good. So the only thing, do you know where your EQ is?
Do you know where your EQ is? Yeah, it's on the first bass boost setting. Now, I can't tell you in terms of numbers what that means, but I don't have a customized equalizer setting here. I'm just using what was built in, and there are... It's good out there. They may be able to hear us. The bass boost number 1.
Roger, Mark, stand by just a moment.
Roger, Mark, stand by just a moment.
The frequency is in use. Station out there, the frequency is in use, has been in use for the last 45 minutes. This is a controlled net. I am net control, and I would appreciate a little consideration for an active net. Thank you very much, sir. Frequency is in use.
Very much, sir. Frequency is in use.
Anyway, Mark, I think we got it, sir. Thanks so much. I'm sorry we have the QRM on the air of a gentleman that apparently can't copy the mail. I don't know what he's using for an antenna, but, oh well. But you're sounding good, and if you would like to hear your recording, even with the QRM, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV along with today's date, 2521, that will take you directly to this recording, Roger.
Directly to this recording, Roger. Well, this has been extremely helpful, and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, and I will check in with you in the future, and I'll go to YouTube here in just a minute. Thanks again. You are KC9VKV. Very nice meeting you, and thank you. This is M8PEP.
Roger, Mark, 73 that way, sir. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. If you can, join us next Friday. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. My name is Jim, and if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.